This is the podcast that will make you think, ponder, wonder, and it will improve every area of your life. Or it's just stupid. Here's the Ken and Kitty Podcast.
It's Ken and Kitty's podcast number 3. We're on 3. And Kitty is disabled. She's on a cell phone, so the microphone's not working.
You know, you might as well get used to this because this might be a permanent thing.
Our podcasts air on kenandkitty.com. I hope you knew that. And it's podcasts and rock and country radio, and it's cool. And our producer, Jamie, over there.
Yeah, and the guy podcasts, the podcast too, right?
She makes them available everywhere. And I haven't even heard of half of these that we're on, but it's showing up on Google. We take up the whole first page of Google when you search for Ken and Kitty. And a lot of the podcast sites are on there now. And so we probably take up 2 pages on Google. So
your favorite listening app that you like to listen on, or wherever the platform is you get your podcast, they're everywhere.
Yes. So
everywhere.
Kitty's in Pennsylvania, but she's moving to Kansas soon. I am.
Gosh, dude.
What?
I still have a job they don't know.
Oh. Sorry. You're still going to have that job after you move, right? No?
I don't know. You know?
Edit.
Jamie's outside of Chicago, outside of Peoria, somewhere in between where Julia Steak and Elwood Blues hang out, somewhere around there.
Look at you.
I'm in Cape Coral, Florida, moving to Jacksonville soon. So the show's going to change dynamic. But in Florida today, I'm going looting because looting is back.
Really? Can you do it legally? Legally, you can loot.
No, it's not. No, looting's not legal.
It'll never be legal.
No.
Fort Myers wait a minute.
What?
Do we need to start saving or getting bail money together now?
No, because there's no electricity in parts of Fort Myers Beach because they got hurt by the hurricane, and there's no electricity, so none of their cameras or their security systems work. None of them. So people are going in and stealing building supplies. And I'm looking at, in my neighborhood, people are trying to put up this white plastic fence. And it's like imagine a 2x4 made out of plastic.
Right.
So they're putting those up around your yard to try to make a fence. But they ran out of these plastic things that go in between them and go in the ground. And so there's 3 houses here with all these plastic things sticking out of the ground and no plastic things going sideways to finish the fence. 3 houses and and now they're kind of all falling over. And I'm like, I can finish these houses. Let me go to Fort Myers Beach and I'll loot and I'll find those plastic things and I'll sell them to the homeowners around here. What do you think? Huh? That's what's happening in Fort Myers Beach right now. The looters are back.
Well, why don't you just not put it up and just loot their houses when they're working?
That's an option too. Thank you.
That'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, and there's better stuff in there.
True. Very true. All right.
I mean, you're going to go around looting for like white plastic, which is basically, demand. So I guess it's worth what you will get for it. But you can loot people's houses. There's jewelry, there's computers, there's basically flat screen TVs.
People come from a long line of pirates. I don't know if anybody knew that or not.
But we do now.
There you go. For that family that
play with birds.
That stores all their alcohol on top of their fridge, and that probably didn't float away in the storm because the water didn't get that high, right? And most of the houses in Fort Myers Beach are on stilts anyway. So yeah, let's find a house with a huge liquor cabinet. That'd be awesome.
No. And those looters are bad, horrible.
Oh, thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome. I just wanted to say it. You're welcome.
Queen, the queen of morality. So
I know I couldn't get past it. Sorry, Ken.
Also in Arcadia, Florida, a lady coughed up a bullet that she took in November. She was shot in the mouth during a violent home invasion that left her fiance dead. And the bullet is a little bit larger than the tip of your pinky finger. And doctors said it would never leave her throat. Well, it finally did. Yesterday, she coughed it up. And
This is exactly why I don't trust doctors, because they're never right.
I was going to say, a doctor wrong? Who would
Right.
have thunk?
I know. This is why I go with herbs and stuff that grows around here. I heal myself holistically. If I get shot with a bullet, you know what? I'm gonna plug it up with herbs and stuff, yank it out with my fingers first, or at least a tweezers, and then I'm just gonna plug it with leaves and stuff.
That sounds a lot better than the doctor route. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mother Nature. There's Goddess Earth, Kitty McVeigh.
Exactly. I can feel it.
To Earth.
It must have been a hassle not being able to go through airport security. You got a bullet in your throat. You know,
is that a bullet in your throat, or you just don't want to talk to me?
Yeah, it would just be so awkward. And would you carry a note? Maybe they'd let you fly if they could verify it. I don't even know.
She could put it on a necklace and then wear it to the bar and show off.
Right, because I would love to have a bullet around my neck that during something that my boyfriend was shot and killed.
Dramatic.
Look at my memento.
So dramatic.
I
it's my trigger, but it's cool. I like it.
Right.
Like,
I don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah,
I don't have my boyfriend, but I do have a bullet now. So hey.
Well, it's out here now. The bullet's out here now on the necklace. It used to be inside. See?
Yeah. Did you see? She coughed it up. She puked it up. It came out. How did you say she exited it? Did she sneeze and it flew out?
It just says she coughed it up.
Coughed it up. All right.
She could have shot somebody with it when it was coming out. It would have been like a double hit.
You're right. You're right. And could you press charges against the initial person because it was the same bullet?
All I did was cough, Your Honor. All I did was cough. That's it.
Double jeopardy. It was the same bullet.
Now I got him right between the eyes.
That'd be a good excuse, He'd get to practicing till he could shoot it out. She could shoot it out her throat on somebody specific, and then be like, "Oops, didn't know."
That would be a great bar trick.
Yeah, as you can tell, we're all very good people, good, honest, moral people around here. So,
look, I'm an earth goddess. What do you want from me?
What
Can I tell you what happened to me this morning? I was going into work, into the studio, and I looked, and what I thought was a dog was outside of the one office door that we don't get to go in because the owners still, they still have that. Here it was a little fawn. And honest to goodness, I was like Snow White. I was like, oh my gosh, where's your mama? And this fawn, it was limping. And I walked up to it and I petted its nose and let it smell me. And then it started following me into the building. I wanted to take it in so bad. But I was waiting for the birds to sing. And I really should have had a Snow White dress because, my God, all of a sudden, the animals were there for me.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I know.
They wouldn't have let you bring it into the radio station?
No, because he probably would have pooped all over.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Did you sing like Snow White?
No, I just kept talking to it in a nice, soft, friendly voice, like a motherly voice. That's the one I don't use for children, but I use for animals. It was my Snow White moment because all I needed were birds there and to be singing a song. This deer, we bonded. We had our moment. And I used my really soft voice, like the one I don't use with children because that one's mean. But it was like, oh, where's your mama? Oh my gosh, are you okay? Aww. I'm not going to hurt you. You need to come here and just let me pet you. I will hug you if it'll make you feel better. And it was like kind of scared. But then it let me walk up to it and I petted its face.
You need dwarfs too. You need dwarfs. I'll be drunk.
No.
Well, between our exes, we've got all the dwarfs. She's got grumpy and dopey. I've got angry and bumpy. And I think you might have a couple bumpy. You could throw in the mix too, Ken.
You're bumpy. With bumpy.
They knew that you loved animals.
The problem is Grumpy and Drunky are the same person, like my ex.
No, I'm a happy drunk.
Yes. Yay.
What you got, Jamie? Come on.
Yay, exes. I got assaulted by a bidet. How do you say that? The fancy
It's
toilet.
bidet.
That tells you. A bidet?
The thing that
Bidet.
sprays your butt after you go to the bathroom.
No,
Yes,
it doesn't.
now, I know it's a
Doesn't?
little personal. Yeah, it really does. Well, we'll get into that in a second.
That's
Have you
what it
guys
is.
used one? Have you
What?
guys used one? Either
No.
one of you used a
Yeah,
bidet?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called a jet from the handheld streamer. That's my
Well, let me
bidet, but
tell
in the
you-
shower.
Let me tell you my bright story because we were at a guest house the other day for an appointment. And I knew that it was in there, but I never used one. And I couldn't see it from when you sit on the toilet, I couldn't see the words on the side. So I went to the side of it and stood up. And then I thought it would be like a soft flow if I just started tapping it to the setting I wanted. But what had happened, it was a waterfall, like a jet stream. And it was like a bad edit from a comedy movie because I'm like, what? And it shot me in the face. And I'm like, and then it shot me on my clothes. And I'm trying to turn it off. And I couldn't see because I didn't have my glasses on. Soaked the bath mat and the floor in the kitchen.
How do you explain that when you get out of the vet? How do you explain that when you get out of the bathroom, you go back and see your company and you're wet from head to toe?
Very, very carefully and strategically.
You can't hide from it. You can't hide from it.
I was like, ooh, don't go in there. Kind of like the detective. Remember that? Wasn't that Detective Jim Carrey? He went with the water and it splashed him and he's like, whoa, don't go in there. That's kind of what I probably should have done.
See, how long were you in the bathroom?
Not that long, but I got my pants were soaked, my shirt was soaked, and half my hair was wet.
Girl, what you should have done is you should have grabbed a towel, wrapped it around yourself, stripped down naked, and said, thanks for letting me use your shower. Of course, I would have been in there for a half hour on the bidet. That's all I'm saying.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thanks for letting me use your shower. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. By the way, if you guys ever use one, they're really cold. That water was ice cold. So I'm just giving you a warning.
It's not a temperature thing on it, huh?
User beware.
So if you lived in Massachusetts, you used to have the infidelity panic defense for murdering your wife, but they eliminated it this week. Supreme Court disavowed its own precedent, which allowed a husband to justify killing his wife if she committed adultery, or as in this case, she told him that the baby wasn't his.
Ooh.
So what used to happen in Massachusetts, you could say that to the judge and they would reduce your charge to manslaughter, much less than murder, premeditated murder. Yeah. But they just eliminated it. So you can't kill your wife anymore.
Well, what happens if it was reversed? Could you kill your husband?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it wasn't written like in a sexist way. It just happened to be. Yeah, that's the way it's. What do you think about that? Do you think that was justified?
Yeah, I think you really shouldn't kill people unless they're going to kill you first, or unless they burned up your house. Then I think you should be allowed to kill them.
Okay, Jamie.
Yeah, unless it's self-defense. Or you really, really a bad person. I watched Dexter.
Well, she was a bad person.
I support really bad people sometimes getting. I'm sorry, that probably makes me a bad person. That's my honest opinion, though. Some people were better off without.
She cheated on him and had a baby that wasn't his. She was a bad person, so it's my.
That's not kill-worthy. I'm talking about a pedophile. They're kill-worthy.
Well, mine cheated on me with an Elvis impersonator, and that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true.
But
that's interesting.
An Elvis impersonator is almost like being with Elvis.
Ooh,
did you guys not have that?
So that justifies it?
Did you not have that hall pass thing where it's like, well, if I run into an Elvis impersonator, and where hey, if I run into a Sarah McLachlan impersonator,
that was your pass.
Yeah, wasn't that one of your passes?
I'm sorry that happened though. That really stinks. On
Elvis
ice.
Needs to go on the pass. If it was real Elvis, then I might not have divorced her.
Yeah, but that Elvis was fat. He was fat and old then.
Sorry.
He didn't say what year Elvis. He just said if he was still alive, he might be hot Elvis with all the surgery now. If he's still around, right?
Who knows?
He could be alive, right?
Who knows? Nobody
I don't
knows.
know. But it doesn't warrant cheating, as horrible as it is. But I do think that people that are neglect and abuse women or their spouse, men and women and children, should be able to get charged for that in court for jail time.
Okay.
For what, cheating?
Yeah. If
Well,
they really
I'm
did
sorry.
emotional abuse or neglect or really hurt the person like Ken,
No.
I think that his ex should go to jail for a month.
Well, honestly, I think that if they're ugly, it should be legal.
What if they're nice and ugly, though? Because, do you want a bunch of pretty people with no brains? Because we've been there, Kitty. We've been
I've
with
been
the
nice and
hottest
ugly
guys in the
myself
room.
too. Real nice and ugly.
Pulling out Kitty's criminal code would be a fascinating read.
It's like, well, okay, he's hot, so we have to at least give him some leniency. I mean, I understand where he wants to spread his gene pool around. So,
Sure.
I understand it. He wants to habitually mate so
Yeah.
that there's a lot of offspring. Now, somebody ugly, no, I'm sorry. If you're beaten with the ugly stick, there's no way you should stick your wiener in anything. Unless it's a glory hole, then that's acceptable.
This is a quote from Kitty's criminal code, section 2, number 202A.
Hey, Kitty, what's that phrase you just said? I don't think I know what it means. Can you tell me what it means?
A glory
Deep down the
hole?
ugly stick?
Yeah, which one? Ugly stick or glory hole? Because they're different. They're two different things.
The latter.
A glory hole is like if you're
I just
ugly, it's the
hear
only
it.
one it's the only one you're ever probably gonna see.
You're not paying.
Here's a fascinating story. The world's oldest hedgehog is 60 years old. It's a European hedgehog called Thorvald, and he's been crowned the oldest in the world. He's in Denmark. And in the article I read, they point out he has the biggest hedgehog penis ever discovered. Somebody measured it. Apparently, there's records with the penis size of hedgehogs. I wasn't aware of that. That might be a fascinating read as well.
Where do you think hedgehog porn comes from? I'm telling you right there.
Is that on Pornhub? Hedgehog?
Could you see walking up to a hedgehog and saying, "Well, is that a wiener, or you just had, Never mind.
They also point out in the article that hedgehogs like to screw their sisters.
Like West Virginians.
Who's doing this research? Who's paying these people to measure their penises and find out that they like to sleep with their own sisters? Why?
And isn't there consent when it either comes to hedgehogs? You know what I mean? I don't think they're going, can I check that first and measure it? Are they asking for permission? I don't think so. I think they're violating them. Here's my theory. Did you ever see Alexander Skarsgård? He's from somewhere like that. He's super tall and super sexy.
Oh, yeah, he's
super
hot.
Well endowed. Maybe like the hedgehogs there are hotter than other countries. Like
they are Swedish.
Hotter than a lot of the American stars we have here, and bigger and manlier.
The Viking blood. It's the whole Viking thing.
All right, hang on.
Ken, are you a Viking?
Hang on, I'm going to Pornhub real quick.
Hedgehogs.
Hey, you know what? Your employer can't even get you in trouble for it. You can't get fired.
I am the employer. Hedgehog porn videos. Oh my God! What?
See, I told you.
Oh, one of them's a cartoon.
There's a good turtle one. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And the turtles were booming and making these weird noises.
It really exists.
What, do you think I made it up? Don't ask me how I know.
What you do in your spare time is your own thing, and you found that.
I did. Yeah, that is really funny that you really did know that was out there, Kitty.
I actually didn't. I made it up, but look at that. It just goes to show you anything is possible. If it's got a wiener, it's going to be on film somewhere. I'm telling you.
It's all out there. It's all out there.
No going through my browser history now. None of you.
The FBI has now flagged you. Ba-boom. You are now a sex offender. Boop, boop, boop. Don't let him around your hedgehog.
All right, we got to go. This has been episode number 3.
Hey, KennyKitty.com. Podcast
The Kenny Kitty Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
It gets better.
Putting up with us. We'll go through our browser history. Yeah, excellent.
The Ken and Kitty podcast also streams on kenandkitty.com. kenandkitty.com.